Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was once again directed by Steven Spielberg, who teamed up with George Lucas to create The Last Crusade. Hello everyone, and welcome to my review of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Remember, this is just my opinion, the red opinion is just my opinion. Thank you. Without further ado, let's get started. The connection that Indiana Jones had with his father definitely had more emotional impact. What I love about this movie is it shows more the foundations of a character and what makes our characters, really these characters, so we get to understand our characters better and their personality. And really all the emotional weight is really great. It really deepens the characters when you see the foundations. Like if you just see a character who's like,
"Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a radar technician."
You're gonna be like, okay, but what's your foundations of the character? So when you have a whole movie about,
"Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a radar technician."
there you have an emotional and compelling character. So that's absolutely what I love here. This movie is definitely more emotional driven, and I love the attachment and the comedy that was had between Indiana Jones and his father. That really create a special bond. Their father-son relationship really has some, they disagree on certain things, but we get to understand how this develops our characters. As well as this movie has a ton more comedy, which is what I love, like this scene.
No ticket.
We all know that Indy instead should have said this.
Get off my plane.
Come on! He should have, even though it wasn't a plane, but still. Sadly, I do have a few negatives with this movie, but this is not a perfect movie. The first thing is that I find Indy's transformation was kind of rushed. Even if you have a whole movie relating to his foundations, this movie at the start kind of has a bit of backstory on how he became Indiana Jones, so it could feel like it was out of place when you have a whole movie that's dedicated to it, and it's just a bit rushed, because in like one day Indy became who he was, into archaeology. It could just feel a bit rushed, without much time to explore these characters the most, which is strange that I say that, because I find that this movie actually does it a lot with the plot, as well as I find that we should have gotten a bit more backstory on why the villains and Elsa really wanted the Holy Grails. Do find they just make a joke about that everyone wants to like live forever. I find that we could and should have gotten a bit more backstory. Sure, maybe he wants eternal life, but why exactly does he want eternal life? I feel like we should have explored the villains more and their motives. But overall, I absolutely love this film, and I'll give Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade an A. Quick soundtrack review. Once again, John Williams nailed it in this soundtrack. I don't think it holds up as well to the previous two, but I like some of the variations that Williams managed to take with Raiders theme, and I'll give the soundtrack a 9.5 out of 10.